There's two counties in the United States, Westchester County and Rockland County, two highest counties, property taxes in the country. And Rockland's one of the places we're going to look at a house tomorrow. I don't know. I may open up the door on the highway, do a little, yeah.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. You're talking about murdering your girlfriend on a podcast. Is that what you just said? Why a nice Canadian man has to go? Why did I come on this podcast? I'm sorry about that, Max. We've never had anyone talk about murder.
Joke.
Purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
Welcome to Cash Daddies. We're banking fatty. Sorry about last week. Had a emergency. Couldn't make do show. So here we are back in the saddle. Joining me as always is Jay Nice, Johnny Woodard, and Rick.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling him this week, Rick?
Yeah. What do we call him last week?
I can't remember, but I think it was.
That's why we'll go with Rick from now on. And then joining us, spinning his ball, having dreams of a 7'5" Frenchman. Howie Dewey.
What's going on? That's what it's all about. French sauce, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Crazy times. Johnny, any thoughts on your favorite black person selling part of your favorite basketball team?
I mean, the guy, this is a show where we talk a lot about investments. The guy bought the Hornets for a little under $300 million, and he banked, how many bills was it?
A lot of bills.
Yeah, a couple billion. So good for him, and he still owns, I think, 49% of the team, which is crazy if you think about it.
He owns how much?
49%. They just bought the majority shares in the team, 51%, that group.
He's got to be worth $3-4 billion.
Oh yeah, I mean, would think so.
Yeah. He's got to be worth more.
He sold his majority stake for $3 billion. That's the valuation. Now, who knows how much of that was actually liquid, but
and then he's got the bill. Like, how much does he make a year off of Nike and sneakers?
Oh God, I mean, who knows? Let's see. This says he made less than $100 million during his NBA career, but before the sell of the Hornets, he had an estimated net worth of $2 billion, according to Forbes. So, I mean, he's a $5 billion guy now, I would say, something like that.
$5 billion guy. $5 billion guy.
He's right there with Mark Cuban, man, above $5 billion.
$5 billion.
Now he has enough to actually. The funny thing is, he just sold the team, and now he finally has enough money to run an NBA franchise properly. Yeah, isn't that funny?
I mean, dude, this is the most. And then we'll get into some real business talk. But my favorite thing is watching everybody like, there's no black owners anymore. You're like, well, the whole league is black, so you're okay on that. And second of all, the next guy they think is going to own a team is LeBron. I feel bad for whatever team gets LeBron James as their GM, because the only thing that LeBron James is comparable to Michael Jordan is how bad of GMs they are. The teams they've put together have been hot garbage.
Yeah. I mean, you can give Jordan a little bit of leeway because any team in North Carolina wasn't worth a shit before he was there. I mean, professional team. They weren't good before he was there.
Oh, dude, the grandmama teams are great. Alonzo Mourning?
They just all got punked by the Bulls in the playoffs, but yeah.
No, the problem was they had a midget for a point guard.
I mean, that was
legit.
Problem.
He was,
but he wasn't going to get them deep into a playoff.
He was good though.
He should have been coming off the bench. He shouldn't have been the starter.
I mean, they were going to play the Bulls. That's all that mattered. They were going to end up facing the Bulls, and
they weren't getting out.
Who cares? It doesn't matter who the point guard was
in the 80s or 90s, but they weren't that good. They had Zoe and Larry Johnson for a while. That was about it, right?
Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
guys
no,
got
I mean, those are their
Anthony
best years.
Mason.
Right before they left, they had like Baron Davis at point guard and Jamal Mashburn when he was healthy. Those are some decent teams, but yeah,
Amazing.
those are their best year was Alonzo Mourning, the Grandmama teams. Yeah, those are
I
their
mean,
best teams.
he had a good run. I mean, the money he made, I don't know how many millions he makes a day, but it's something ridiculous.
Oh, it's gotta be
Just
crazy. Yeah. And the
Who?
Bobcats, I mean, the Bobcats had like two decent teams with Gerald Wallace and Steven Jackson when they were together. But yeah, I mean, since they came back to North Carolina, they're the only NBA franchise never to win a 7-game series. It's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. But now
Well-
that he's gone, you guys will have a much better chance.
We'll see. I hope the new owners spend. They don't have as much. They're not worth as much as he is. I don't know why we let.
I just don't understand why you just don't get the craziest people to buy these teams. I just don't get it.
Well, did
There's
you
so
hear
many
that?
psychos out
Apparently,
there.
Jordan reached out to like Tiger Woods and Oprah and shit to see if they wanted to buy the team before to try. I guess maybe to keep it black or something, and that none of them were interested.
Speaking of owners in black, my girl and I were having brunch Saturday at her favorite place downtown. And who gets out of a nice little black Escalade with his hot little Asian girlfriend and walks over to us and sits right next to us, Sammy?
Shannon Sharp.
Your favorite NBA owner of all time of your favorite team?
Bomber?
Who owned it before Stevie Ballmer, baby?
Donald Sterling sat next to you?
It's right next to me. Look at, I wish he was here. Oh my God. So he sits next to me. I don't know.
By the way, Howie, you could play Donald Sterling in a movie if you wanted.
Dude, I swear to God, I looked over and I said, and he goes, oh, my Hans is like, man, that guy must have a lot of money because he was with some Asian lady. I don't know. Maybe she might have been 40, 50. It's tough to tell. She was young. Sterling's looking rough. Sterling,
Yeah, he's like almost 90.
Listen, it took him to get from the Escalade to where he sat, man. It probably took him 3 minutes. Man, he was walking slow. He's lost some weight.
89, yeah.
Rocky the chant. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he went in. I looked over. I said, "Do you have any idea who that was?" I'm like, "That was Bill Walton's owner back in the day."
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
back when he bounced. Remember, he was bouncing. They said every other check that he wrote to players would bounce back in the day.
Well, you know, he's the reason why the Lakers, why the buses own the Lakers. He basically
that?
lended Bus the money.
No kidding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they were in the same business, the same real estate investing business. They were
Yep.
buying up.
He loaned him the money. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into how was your week, Howie? What's going on?
It's a whole this market is the craziest thing that I've seen in decades. And it's crazy because the NASDAQ has gone up basically on 6 to 8 stocks. Nothing else is, most stocks are going down in the market. But the Microsofts, the Apples, the Amazons, the Teslas, the Metas, CrowdStrike, Salesforce, these stocks just, it's insane. I've never seen it. They go up every single day. They go, you want to talk about a bubble at some point. I mean, I bought puts on Tesla when it hit 220. It's up to 275 in the past 2 weeks. It's gone up of almost 100 points in 2 weeks. Now, one thing I will say about Elon Musk, man, it doesn't matter. That guy, I've never seen an owner of a company manipulate a stock more than that guy does. He will make his pub team come out with press that it doesn't matter. You know, today I'm going to China. Today I'm visiting with this guy. Everybody's going to use our charging stations. Next week I'm going to France. He'll come up with 2-3 news, and every time he pumps out the news, the stock jumps like 5 or 6 points. And so there's a piece of news today. Their competitor is a Chinese EV company, NIO. It's a good company. It's got to be, because you figure it's Chinese. They probably stole all the fucking technology from Tesla already. But it came out and they said it's going to be a tough competitor for Tesla because of price points. And as soon as it said that, Musk came out with 2 or 3 better, more positive news. You don't even know if they're real. Well, he just pumps this fucking thing. It's insane.
Yeah, I think the news was one of the items that they have been promoting over the past month is that it's the best. It just became the best-selling EV in the entire world, which is, I mean, that's, in a world where EVs are very popular, that's a big thing.
It is crazy, right?
Yeah,
it is.
I mean,
crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely whack. So, the S&P year to date is up 14% because of the run we've had in the last 2 weeks. The S&P is up 14% year to date. If you threw a dot, your IRAs, everybody's IRA should be up at least 14%. I checked my 2003 portfolio that I put on the link for everybody to see, all the patrons to see. It's up close to 50% today, year to date. And it's because I keep putting stop losses on these companies that I bought January 2nd, like CrowdStrike, Salesforce, Meta. I bought the consumer discretionary ETF, and the insane one, SMH, the semiconductor. That fucking thing's up like 168% year to date. So, I mean, look, I'm going to tell you, if you can do 8% a year with your IRA, you're going to end up having millions in it someday. And right now, we're up about almost 50% year to date with our.
And I have to correct one thing. What I meant to say was the Model Y was the best-selling car in Q1, not just EV, but the best-selling car in the world in Q1.
And that's
Isn't
a Tesla?
Yeah, the Model Y. Yeah, Tesla Model Y. Yeah.
But did you see?
It's a big thing.
But here's the real news too on this. They recalled, I think, 32 trucks from Tesla. So there was a recall on the trucks. There's a problem with them. And did you realize he's only built like something like 35 or 40 fucking Tesla trucks? Like originally he said he was putting out thousands, and there's only been like 35 or 40 built so far.
This says it may have
produced ugly.
as few as 36 units in 3 months of those big semi trucks.
Yeah. So it's like, what I thought that was going to be a huge part of their earnings over the next couple of years. That was something that they were really concentrating on, and it doesn't look like they're doing much with that.
It's a parking brake issue. They had a rollaway risk, which is, I mean, for a semi truck, that's a problem.
And there's also a world class action suit. There's a class action suit against Tesla because all the people have died in the self-driving cars over the past few years. What is it, like 12, 15 people, something like that? Maybe more.
Serial killer.
Yeah. And it's
all idiots though who aren't doing it. They say, you're not supposed to take a nap. These are all people who start just thinking they could take naps and read books while they're behind the wheel of a car. That's all these people who died. We're just like,
really? That would be me.
Yeah, that'd be me too. Especially if I was using drugs at the time. I'd be like, I can pound my pud and drive.
I'd go right in the back seat.
Wait a minute. Sam, that's never stopped you from pounding your pud and driving. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't pound my pud anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stopped.
Well, I mean,
for the most part.
It's insane right now. I mean, we are crushing the S&P. The S&P's had a great run. I'll tell you another news too. This is kind of wild because we had some Patreons with balls last week, and they went in and they bought Target. And I was like, I don't know. There's a lot of negative news, but Target bottomed out at like 126. Bunch of these dudes went in and bought it. Hey, it's back up to 133. So I didn't even do it. They made money on it, and I'm like, you guys are getting smarter. You understand?
So hold on. So the stock went up?
Yeah, it bottomed out at 126, and today it's at 132.72, almost 130. It actually bounced back up to 136, but it's at 130.
Wow.
Yeah, Target's back, and look, I read a really good fucking article on all of the boycotting and shit. And basically, here's what the boycott is not going to do. It's not going to crush these companies. Anheuser-Busch is always going to be there, which is part of InBev. We've talked about it. Target's always going to be there because you can boycott it, but your neighbor who needs some fucking paper towels or toilet paper is going to go there. Like Walmart, people are always going to shop there. So
yeah, I agree.
So what they said, the good thing about these boycotts is what it does is this. It does slap these executives in the face, and it lets them know that, look, if you're going to do all this extremely woke shit, every now and then you might get hit a little bit. You know what? You might get hit and knocked down to normal. Happened with Bud, happened with Target, happened with a bunch of these companies. You know, and it may make them rethink how they market in the future. That's what it does. But you're not going to put these companies out of business, man. Fucking billion-dollar companies, you know? I heard it again. I heard there was I saw a small bit on Rogan, and he's like, these companies lost billions. Yeah, okay. They did. Target lost billions. What'd their market cap go from 180 down to 172? It's billions, but when you got 200 billion, you know, what's losing 5 or 6 billion? It's the same thing. It's like a stock going from 100 to 95. You know, you're losing how much? How much pain are they really going through? So
but it's also like, where do they really care about where they get their money from? Is it consumers? I mean, like, again, I just think we're in this business era where these ESG scores seem to be more important than the selling of products.
And you know what's evidence of that, Sam, is that InBev just got the biggest marketing award. Their marketing executive just got the biggest marketing award after this whole thing. They were at the Cannes Lions marketing conference in France on Monday.
Holy
that was probably for, tell me if I'm wrong, Johnny, but wasn't that for Stella?
Oh, no, I mean, it was just the guy who oversees the whole thing. He received an award for Creative Marketer of the Year at the Oscars
Johnny,
of the
you
advertising.
just blew my freaking skull.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know.
Now, I will say, I'll give him credit. He called what happened a wake-up call for the industry and said, in times like this, when things get divisive and controversial so easily, I think it's an important wake-up call to all of us marketers for us to be very humble. That's what the guy said. So,
what's that even mean?
I don't know.
What does it mean?
I mean, he didn't say, you know, we should be cautious. He's like, we should be humble. What does that even mean, man?
I'll continue to give it some context if you want. The guy's name is Marcel Marcondes. He says,
okay, that sounds like a French mime.
InBev is really reminding ourselves of what we should do best every day, which is to really understand our customers, which is to really celebrate and appreciate every customer that loves our brand, but in a way that can make them be together, not apart. So
it's kind of like the LGBTQ community and the Klan. If we can bring them all together, one room, and just let them drench each other in Bud Lights, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what he's saying, isn't it?
What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. What are you, you're stupid? You know, look, man, no, the article I read was like, look, you know, it's not going to kill these companies in the pocket long run. It's not. But it's going to make them rethink how they market. Because, you know, if Anheuser-Busch starts getting their asses kicked to my new favorite beverage company, which is Molson Coors Tap, which I think is breaking out and is one we're probably going to buy right before 4th of July. Hey, trust me, all that woke shit will go right out the door. If Molson Coors starts beating the piss out of InBev, things will change. Because bottom line is it comes down to dollars. So
well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Today is, we record this on June 20th.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The amount of gay pride shit that we would normally see, it's not even close to what it was before. I mean, not that it's not happening or that there isn't some stuff, but man, I mean, I have not seen it like we've seen in past years, where it is just everywhere all the time.
No, you can tell that a lot of these big companies have taken off the shelves. I'll give you proof. Today's Tuesday. my neighborhood is the largest gay pride neighborhood, not in this country, but
Of course, you live there.
in the world. I'll be driving out of here Thursday for a few days because yesterday we walked around and all I saw was ass and jock straps for miles and miles and miles.
That's the whole thing. It's like, again, I don't give a shit what you do. I don't know, Johnny. Have you been to Gay Pride in LA? Have you ever checked it out?
I lived on Hayworth, North Hayworth, off Santa Monica, so I've seen it.
Yeah, but
it went past my house.
Did you ever go down and see it down in like the Mecca of gay?
Yeah, I mean, I've walked down
of course,
there
we all
to get
did.
food
We
and
all
stuff.
did.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like super entertaining, but it's like it's super adult. It's super adult. And these dumb fuck white parents who bring their kids to it, it's just like you're pissing off everybody. Okay. The gays don't want the kids there because they're walking around with dildos hanging out of their butt plugs. Okay. And nobody else wants your kids there because it's just not kid appropriate.
No.
So that's it.
Oh.
So it's like when I hear, oh, the super gay area is having a bunch of people walk around with jock straps, I go, yeah, because that's what gay pride is. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
Function.
I've never seen, and we walked around everywhere yesterday in the village. I'll tell you what I didn't see. I didn't see any parents with kids. I mean, I know you see stuff online, and I wonder sometimes if it's fucking real. I don't believe anything I see online.
I totally agree, and it's just like Doug said.
In the area I'm in, nah, man, there's no kids, man. I mean, and during the day when there's school, these guys don't do it. They know where to do it. They go outside their favorite bar. It's mostly fenced in. But I know what you're saying, to get back with what you're saying, Sam, about this year and not as much merchandise being out there. You're not kidding, because they're saying that this gay pride parade in New York this year could possibly be the biggest one ever, because now you got that whole community pissed off that, that some of these big companies are maybe shifting them to the back burner for a little bit. So they're all coming to New York to just jam it right up our ass. That's what they're doing.
That's why you're getting out of town. I thought you'd like to stay.
I have stayed before. Like, I want to say 10 years ago, I walked around and I observed some interesting shit. I bartended in a place about 10 years ago, and guy came up, ordered a few drinks, and all he was wearing was a sock. And I'm like, I didn't even know how he was going to pay. I was like, there's no way I'm touching any cash. So I've seen it all, man. I've seen it all here. But
yeah, again, it's like, who gives a shit? Let adults be adults. I don't give a fuck. But it's just interesting because we haven't seen it to the level it was before. And I think people are just over it, and that's fine, because it doesn't make it's not good business. That's it. It's just like, for the first time in my life, and I'm 50 years old, people are advertising to basically like ghosts, almost like the thought of. It's like there's not enough people to carry your company to market to them. It's not. I mean, the amount of money you spend on an ad, you're never going to recoup that money from the amount of people. Like, I mean, even like when you look at, like, let's say all the black entertainment coming out, right? Like, the population of America, of blacks in America, is like what, 12%?
Something like that, yeah.
Right. And I got a funny story for you. But so to market everything to that group, you would have to literally get every single one of them to come and see your show, to see your movie, to make it worthwhile. It just doesn't make any. Now, it's fine if you have a couple shows like that, but to put everything geared to that, it's just not good business. That's all I'm saying. I have no problems with black entertainment or black programming, but to make everything that, which was like Hollywood was doing that for a short time, doesn't seem like good business to me. So do you guys know that white chick who forever just tanned herself and had like black hair and went around telling everybody she was black?
Yeah, you talking about Tan Mom?
No.
Oh, okay.
The white chick who ran the
Oh, Rachel
NAACP.
Dolezal? Yeah.
Well, somebody got her to do a cameo,
Really?
and she didn't even know what she was reading.
Oh
But
no.
and she's like,
Well, let me see if I can find it.
they
The
tricked
the
her
get the
into
guest is
reading
here, by
it.
the way.
What?
The
Oh,
guest is
okay,
here,
let's
by
get
the
the
way.
guest in here after
Let me
this.
see if I can find the uh is it for a wedding? Is that what it is?
Oh no, dude. We'll talk
All right.
about it
Say
after.
yeah,
We'll
send it to me.
talk about
Okay, we'll go to the break now for the guest.
Hey guys, I want to talk to you about our good friend James McMahon at Copy My Crypto. Guys, we've seen so many people make ridiculous money from crypto, but did you know it's easy for you to do the same? That's right. The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy them. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest, as you simply do what he does. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which, despite heavy censorship, has over 26,000 subscribers. Since March 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 in each, it'd be well worth over $123,000.
Wow.
Of the 26 coins, his top pick coin called Phantom went up 692 times from when he said. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members at Copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's SAM. Okay. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners will get full access for just $1. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/Sam. The recession is here. You can suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is the real deal. Go visit the site now. All right, guys, very excited to have our guest here. He is, man, he's got a lot of things going. He runs the Abundance Wealth Community. He's an independent financial educator. Very excited to have him on. Please welcome Max Becker. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Could use some more sunshine, but that's the way it is down here in Vancouver.
Oh, snaps. Up there in Canada. We love it. You can come down to LA and hang with us. We're about to get real hot down here. Max, very thankful that you would join us on our show. For our listeners who may not be familiar with you, or we call them our readers, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Well, you can find me. You can find me on my website, abundancewealthcommunity.com. So I do work in Vancouver, BC, and I help people who are living here in this province of ours and would like to get more financial education. So where I come in really is, having used to work at a big bank, I found that big banks are very transaction focused and product focused. And yeah, product is a bridge for people to get from A to B. What I really focus on is education. So if I can help people have more tools for their toolbox and make better decisions for themselves, then that's a win for me. Whether or not they become a client, that's really in a nutshell.
Well, I love that. I want to get into something with you. I want to talk about independent financial advisors versus bank employees. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I just found that when you work for a bank, you work for the man, and your job is to bring in sales. So come in, Mr. Client, sit here, get some brief information, and this is a credit card I recommend for you, and this is the loan I recommend for you, and see you later. Have a good one. And that's really what it's all about. It's not about getting to know people or really finding about what makes them tick and what they need. It's just about churning product, and that wasn't fulfilling.
What did you? I'm not gonna ask you what bank you worked for. What did you do? What was your job at the bank? So you weren't into like retail investments like stocks, bonds, annuities. What were you into? What did you do?
Yeah, it was retail investing. So it's mostly helping people with their credit, their checking, savings,
Oh, okay.
their loans, and investments as well. We didn't do like specific investments. You'd have to see a broker for that, but we did do mutual funds and the like.
All right. Okay. So yeah, the thing about working, I don't care whether you're selling stocks, bonds, or you're selling car loans or mortgages. Um, you work for a big bank like you did, and you know which products you want to sell because there's products that have a bigger commission to you. I mean, we call that YTB, yield to broker. So you find it's easier now, ethically to kind of you're not pushing people into a certain product just so you and the bank can get paid.
You mean now or before?
No, before compared to now.
Before, well, I didn't work for commission, but you had sales targets. So they'd say you want to get X number of credit cards per week or whatnot. So that would kind of guide your conversations. Now it's a little interesting. I mean, I only eat if I get paid, and I only get paid if I see people and help people. So it's really just about finding that right fit. If let's say you're a do-it-yourself investor and you love to just trade all day and you love the passive investing, then I might not be the right fit for you. But let's say that you don't know, you don't finance just makes your eyes glaze over and you don't know anything about getting started in the market, then yeah, I would probably recommend you do a managed mutual fund, and then that works for you. That grows your money because before it was just sitting in a checking account, and then yeah, I get paid that way as well.
So I want to get into some with you because you want to talk about socially responsible investments, and it's very interesting because we've kind of been having this discussion before you came on about ESG, where I feel we're in this kind of anti-business business era where a lot of large businesses are trying to play to a bunch of investment firms for money in their company. And we've seen on a small scale that there's been pushback. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, what is socially responsible investments?
I would say my definition is when you have win-win-win, not only for your portfolio, but for the other two P's, the planet and other people. So I'll give an example. There is a gold mining company in the middle of South America, somewhere in the Andes, very remote region. They went to the school there and they set it up with Wi-Fi, and they gave every kid a tablet. Now, obviously that costs money out of that gold company's bottom line. But hey, lo and behold, 6 months down the road, when they were operating that mine, they didn't have indigenous protesters blockading the operations saying we were cut out of the profits. In fact, they support the mine because the mine supported them. Now, whether or not they do it for altruistic reasons or they do it because they are thinking about their own bottom line, it still has the same effect, right? They're still helping that community. So even if we're kind of skeptical about socially responsible investment or SRI or ESG, whatever you call it, it has that knock-on effect of just aligning good community operations with good business operations. Does that make sense?
Unless they gave kids the tablets because those kids were working overtime in the mine.
So I understand what you're saying. I there's a lot that I agree with you on. Like Howie and I battle on this all the time about your feelings on the ethics of the company versus making a very smart investment. There's certain things I don't want to invest in. I try my hardest. If I could get out of BlackRock, I would do it. But I think that at the, if you go deep enough into who's investing into the investment, you're going to end up on BlackRock at some point. They've got their tentacles in everything. But, it's like, not to get into a science discussion or anything, but like Howie and I disagreed on Pfizer. I'm not a Pfizer fan. Howie was a Pfizer fan, and Howie invested in it. And Howie, did you make money on that investment?
I've made money on it. Right now it's trading it right where I bought it. It's at 39, 38, $40, but it pays a 4% yield. So if it stays at 40 and inches up over the next 3 years, it's a pretty good investment. And I don't say I love the company. I love the fact that the company's worth billions and billions of dollars and they have good cash flow. And it's what I like to call a pretty safe investment. So It's tough to disagree with that one. It's
Well, that is the question. Like, how do you operate? How do you make sure you only do ethical investments? And is that the best use of your money if you want to? Because I'm with you, dude. I mean, I would love to do ethical. I believe in capitalism, but we're in a crony capitalist society where these corporations are making giant profits off the backs of the poor. I don't like that in any way. I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing profits with the people or paying a living wage. I'm totally down with that.
But it was worse. It was worse 40, 50 years ago than it is today. I mean, today you have the internet, you have people posting whether it's real, whether it's not. But today there's more people paying attention. 50 years ago, you had what's still one of the biggest stocks in the world, Philip Morris. 50 years ago, you had that company hiring child psychologists, trying to come up with better ways to get a 7-year-old smoking versus a 12-year-old. Because
I'm with you. There's a
got
lot of dark arts out there.
So I think it is better today. I remember I'd have clients that say, I'll buy anything, but I don't put me, I don't want to invest in Philip Morris because my mother died of fucking smoking or her father died of smoking. So, and you got the same thing with all kinds of companies out there. Whether it's oil companies, Jesus, people get pissed if BP dumps a little oil and kills a few billion fish, and all of a sudden, don't put me in BP.
Yeah, but that's the question. Is like, and that's why I have to ask you, Max. Like, how much does that? Because I love the name of your company, Abundance Wealth. I'm into abundance as well, and so how do you navigate that mind, that laser field?
I mean, it's a great question. I just say at some point you have to have faith in things. Like if you keep digging, you're going to find dirt on everything, right? I mean, if you're vegetarian, you're clearing rainforests to raise your tofu. So, yeah. I mean, you live in this world, you make an impact, right? However, if you really care about the environment and global warming, then you'll probably leap off a cliff and take yourself out of the equation and stop reproducing like that. Then you're not impacting the environment and you're not impacting the world, right? I mean, that's like the negative view to the extreme, right? So how do I look at it? I honestly, even if we're skeptical about it, what I say is I say this. So let's take the oil companies. Now, Canada, a lot of countries where you can be called greenwashing, they're pulling investments out of oil and gas, out of their pension funds. So what does that mean when you don't invest in oil companies? Well, as we saw with GameStop, investment is all mindset and psychology, right? It's all what is hot, right? So if people aren't into oil companies, they're pulling money out of oil companies, those stock prices will stagnate. They might pay a nice yield, they'll still make a profit, but where the money's going, it's going in those ESG funds, and they're going to continue to attract more capital. They're going to continue to grow. So even if you're a skeptic saying, hey, I don't believe any of this, you want to follow the trend, and that's where the trend is headed.
Has been, yeah. A lot of those.
So let's get into something. Let's talk to you about offense versus defensive investment.
For sure. So, what sports do you like down there?
Oh well, we're basketball. We love football. Hey, man. I mean, I can get into some hockey if you want. I mean, I would say soccer, but the U.S. just beat Canada, so you might be sensitive about that.
Not really, but hockey's my thing down here. But let's take football, right? I mean, football, basketball, whatever sport. Just imagine that everyone, all they did was try to score goals or shoot hoops. They didn't protect their own back end, right?
You're talking hockey?
You got to protect your back end.
Is one of the Hanson brothers your father?
That's a good movie.
You look like you could be one of the kids, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be one of their sons.
Oh, we don't let fists fly in what we do, but we do have a good time.
Respect, brother. Respect. So go. You before Howie decided to be an idiot. Could you please go on with what you talking about?
So take hockey. You got 5 players on each team plus a goalie. Let's imagine that there was no goalie and you had 6 players all trying to score goals, right? It would be a shit show, right? You'd have just probably a really lopsided game. You might score quite a few more goals, but you would get trashed from the other team just shooting on your net all the time. Well, we take that analogy to sports and you apply it to finance, because a lot of us in finance were really top heavy in what is going to make us money. We're big on real estate, we're big on stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, crypto. We want to put all our money into our business. We don't think what could go wrong on the back end. What could go wrong on the back end? Well, we could get sick, hurt, we could pass away, saddle our wives with a $500,000 mortgage. Your ability to produce an income between now and 65 is your single biggest asset. It's going to dwarf any other asset you'll be able to acquire, which is like more than a home, more than a stock portfolio or whatever. So that is really protecting you, like with insurance and protection. That makes the most sense. And, most likely you're going to live till age 85 and be healthy because we have good medicine. We have longevity.
Johnny's trying to never die. Johnny never wants to die.
Not sure what's wrong with that. I mean, who wants to die? You always say that Johnny doesn't want to die. That's such a weird statement to me.
No, dude, I've seen what happens when you stay past 80. It gets shady.
Yeah, now it does, but we'll see. Let's just see. I got a little while. Let's just wait it out.
Johnny's gonna invest in cryogenics, stuff like that.
I was just gonna say, do you have a cryogenic backup plan in place where they're gonna freeze your body?
That's sounds like a bad country song, man.
Johnny, do you think when they decide who they're gonna freeze, like how many people do they have to turn down before they get to you?
No, I got a lot of work to do to get up. I got to move up the list.
They're gonna go through all the CrossFit people, all the jiu-jitsu people.
Oh, no. It's got nothing to do with any of that stuff. It's all about money in the bank. It's all about that. You gotta have funds locked up that will only be liquid upon your revival, and then somebody gets paid. That's the key.
Money in the bank.
Do you know any investments that can fit that?
You have to be liquid for the funds to be liquid. The blood in your body has to flow for the money to flow. So that's the move, man.
Can go for the cheaper version, which is just the head. They just keep the head frozen.
Oh, we're gonna Walt Disney this. We're gonna chop off our heads.
Used to say that Walt Disney, that happened to him, right?
He's just gonna bring him back. It's like 2023. Do you think Walt Disney was like easily by 27, right?
Oh, dude, think about all the shit they thought back then. Think about all the shit they thought back when they thought about the year 2000 and like 1950. Think about all the shit they thought we were gonna have.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, a lot of it is crazier, even crazier than they imagined, though. Like with what you're talking about now with AI, the internet, so much of that. I mean, it was impossible for them to even imagine back then.
So let's get into some of your offensive investments and then your defensive investments, because so you have your offense, which is you some examples you've given me is investments, real estate, own your own business. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into some defense.
Yeah, well, I would just say, like, let's say you've got, just to put it really simple overall, let's say you have $1,000 left over each month after all your expenses. That includes the 3 girls you're dating, whatever.
Yeah. God help us.
Yeah.
So of that $1,000, like how much would you want to put towards offense? Probably about 850, 900. So that could go towards, let's say, your rental property that you're buying, or your stock portfolio, or building your business. And then you probably want to allocate a small portion, like $150, $100 towards defense. I mean, life insurance is cheaper than car insurance, right? Like a guy like you, Sam, could probably get $500,000 for maybe $100 a month, right? Maybe cheaper. So why would you spend more to protect your car than your own life? And then just,
I agree. Howie doesn't think I should do it. He thinks I'm an idiot for getting this life insurance, but
he's talking about whole life.
I got everything, bro. I'm just loading up. And then I could turn it.
Insurance.
What?
You should have some insurance.
But I got a lot, bro.
Yeah,
I partied pretty hard. I got this thing. I'm putting a lot of puts on myself. That's what I'm doing.
Right. You're buying puts on Sam Tripoli right now.
Yeah.
He's
Put
shorting
that
the
on the
shit out of
internet.
himself.
Yeah, you know, Howie, honestly, we should get key man insurance on Sam. We could insure him too, you know, and
No
get a
way,
little,
Yeah.
bro.
yeah,
Yes.
How about
get a
the
little
old
bump.
ladies who were like buying life insurance on homeless people, and then they were like helping off in them? You know, it's like,
Walmart was doing that, you know,
Yeah.
was getting health insurance. But the thing that they were doing that was problematic, they weren't telling the employees that they were taking out life insurance on them. So when employees were dying, they were just cashing these checks and nobody even knew
that's
about it.
insane.
Yeah.
Whoever thought about that from the get-go is an evil genius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he probably had an evil German scientist accent when he did that. Let's do this. Let's get the health insurance on the employees.
Jesus Christ. That was horrible. That sounds like a fucking autistic Austrian.
Hey, easy. Easy, dude. So, okay. So what are some defensive ones? So we got rainy day savings, contingents, planning. Tell me about that.
Rainy day savings, I mean, pretty much you should have 3 to 6 months of cash in a backup fund, and you shouldn't invest that in the market. I think you see a lot of people saying, I lost money in the market. Well, you lost money in the market because you had cash in there that you needed for your emergency fund that shouldn't have been invested, right? So that's always a big one. Disability insurance protects your ability to make an income, right? So if you're not covered through work, maybe have your own private plan. And then illness insurance, so it protects us against heart attack, stroke, and cancer, and the other nasties. So, 1 in 2 Canadians, I don't know about you guys down there, but 1 in 2 Canadians will get cancer. So
What?
if
That
One
if
in
that is
two?
triggered, you get a payout that helps you cover a lot of expenses.
that's expensive shit though, that cancer insurance.
Yeah, but I thought you guys had the great health insurance. You didn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, we have the great health insurance, but you're not working for 1 or 2 years until you get better, right? So what happens? You're depleting your 401k, you're depleting your other investments, you're selling your property before you should sell it.
With the price of now, do you guys? This is to everybody here. Do you guys think buying real estate right now is a good idea at this moment with the markets being cuckoo crazy? I know in the States interest rates are really high. Do you guys think it's a good idea to get into it right now?
Going to look at a house tomorrow. Oh.
You mean us guys in Canada?
Either one.
Definitely the rates are higher, and Canada has like some of the most overvalued real estate in the world. So people are putting like 60% of their paycheck towards their mortgage or their rent.
Oh my God.
I think if you like the idea of living in a place and calling it your own and being able to tear down a wall and not have to worry about the landlord, stuff like that, then there's an emotional connection to it that you can't really put a price tag on. If you're looking from an investment point of view, yeah, it makes sense to buy with cash, maybe not so much leverage, because a lot of people, I just talked to one girl yesterday. This is a suburb of Vancouver, and she's got $2,500 mortgage payment plus like $500 strata fee plus a few hundred in property tax. So it's costing her $3,300 a month, and she can only rent it for $2,500. So that's $800 a month from her own pocket. If you can do that and do that for 5-10 years, great. If it's stretching you, and you stretch yourself to buy property, that makes less sense.
Super interesting. And I live in California where everything's so super expensive. There's no way you could put $1,000 aside and be able to pay for any of that. I have friends of mine who bought 20 years ago and their house was like 250,000 20 years ago. So, and they're all worried about how they're going to be able to like have retirement. I'm like, dude, you're just going to sell your house and move to Florida and live off that for a while. But man, it's crazy times, dude. What's your thoughts on gold and silver?
Did you see what silver, by the way, silver took a beating today.
Why?
I mean,
why? Somebody tell me why silver just shit the bed.
I mean, today was damn bad. Today, I mean, silver.
Good, I'll buy more. Give me more silver.
I don't know, bro. went from 22-17. That dropped like a point today, man. That's crazy. I don't know. What do you think of gold and silver? Me personally, I think you should have 5-8% gold in your portfolio, but I don't know
I
about
think it's
silver.
like it. Yeah, it's kind of a insurance against the apocalypse. You know, that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that and machine guns and
yep,
cans of tuna.
yeah.
So
It
Yeah.
is.
Howie, okay, so you're going to you're looking at a house tomorrow. How much are you looking to put down?
Oh my God, man. It's a deal. We're going to the inspections tomorrow at 2:00. It's in a traditionally black neighborhood.
Oh, that's perfect. Gentrify. We
Yeah,
love
but
that.
I don't want my girlfriend to get stretched too much. I mean,
Okay. All
fi-
right.
I
All
mean
right.
financially speaking.
Okay. Oh,
No, if
okay.
it's a deal. It's a deal where I don't know, man. We're going up tomorrow 2:00. See the inspection. The fucking house is like it's dropped from like 770 to 670, and I still don't. I mean, I'm looking at it, and of course, you got the realtor saying it's going to be worth over $1 million in 3 years, and it's like, look, man, I'm going to walk through this thing tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm a little stressed.
Okay. So it's 700,000. You're looking at a house at 700,000. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
How much you're looking to put down? I love to hear, Max, your thoughts on, how much you think you should put down. I know it's Canada, but how
Well,
much are you of that 700,000? How much are you looking to pay up front?
probably 150. You don't have to, and that's another thing too. Mortgage lenders right now, you don't have to put 20% down. Because
But it lowers the price that you of your mortgage, right?
it does, but dude, it's in Rockland County though. You know what the property taxes are on this?
You're in New York. You're F.
17,000 a year. So
I'm in California, bro. I gotta give up one of my kids.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like I looked at the property tax. I'm like, okay, so let's say your mortgage was 5,500 a month. Add another 1,500 of that just in property taxes. So, there's two counties in the United States, Westchester County and Rockland County, two highest counties property taxes in the country. And Rockland's one of the places we're going to look at a house tomorrow. I don't know. I may open up the door on the highway, do a little yeah.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. You're talking about murdering your girlfriend on a podcast. Is that what you just said? Why a nice Canadian man has to go? Why did I come on this podcast? I'm sorry about that, Max. We've never had anyone talk about murder.
Jokes. These are jokes, and anyone
Okay.
knows my girlfriend knows.
All right, Max, your thoughts.
My thoughts. I'm just thinking, like, I can't understand all the regulation and taxes you guys have. Like the States, in my mind, growing up, was always like this bastion of American dream. All those '80s movies I watch, free enterprise. Now it's easier in the States to be a police officer than it is to be a hairdresser. Like,
oh yeah,
where is your country going? Like, I don't. How do you make money with all these taxes and regulations? Like, that's supposed to be Canada. Like, we love taxes here. We love regulation. Like, I want to go someplace without taxes, without regulation. Hong Kong might be it. 10% flat tax. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's unbelievable. It's shocking what it is. It's like it's so hard to start up a business and deal with all that, man. It's
in California, anyway. Yeah,
I mean,
New York,
well, you're in New York. Howie's in New York. Johnny and I are in Los Angeles, California, and taxes are insane here.
There's a reason people are moving to Texas, though.
But Johnny,
Florida.
you know that where they get you in Texas is on property tax.
Yeah,
it's super high. They're like, yeah, no state tax. Oh, but property tax up the wazoo.
Yeah, they're gonna stick you somehow. But we do, you're in LA, I'm in New York. Those are top two most expensive cities in the United States. Everything else is way below. I'm sorry. There's nothing. Look, you live in New York City. You pay a federal tax, then you pay a state tax, and then we got a city tax.
Yeah, I don't know why people want to play for the Knicks or the Yankees. I'm like, you're paying so much in taxes.
Half, right off every check, right off the bat. Half.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, final thing, man. Active versus passive investing. Let's get into that because I really like that. I'm always battling that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would just say like any product exists for a reason, right? So active investing is not some big scam. And then maybe passive investing might beat active investing on many occasions. However, in a falling market, active investing will be generally better because they will manage the downside. That's what the managers are paid to do. Plus the other thing is like active investing exists for the reason that, part of my job, like I meet people with $40,000 in their checking account who are not getting any interest. They don't even know what investing is. These people are wonderful people, and they're not going to go out and just suddenly set up a Charles Schwab and start trading ETFs. Like they wouldn't even have the wherewithal to do that. It takes someone like me to teach them what investing is, and then and active investing is how we get started. The other thing is with active investing, you get me, right? Because I can look at your mortgage, I can look at your overall plan, I can look at your whole financial snapshot and just tell you what the weak spots are, what to improve. And I build that relationship with you, and I have my network to help you, my network of realtors, accountants, lawyers, that could help you, car salesman, whatever. Versus like, is a robo-advisor going to do that for you? No, it's just going to say, what's your risk tolerance? How much money are you going to put in? And you have to look at all sides of the picture. You can't just say that passive is cheaper, therefore you should go passive. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like passive, buying a rental property, renting it out, buying dividend stocks that every quarter, bang, you're getting a nut off of it. That's passive, residual investing. And there's something to be said for it. I know guys in their 20s, 30s, they buy 3, 4, 5, 6 rentals. You look into their IRAs, they're loaded up 75% high yield dividend paying stocks. And pretty much, it's low risk. You can breathe at night. You have that money coming in no matter what happens. So there's a lot to be said about passive investing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Max, man, we had a great time with you today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry about Howie Dewey. His jokes were inappropriate, and I have no problem with joining you in a lawsuit against him. So if you need anybody, please let us know. One more time, tell us where they could where our listeners can find you.
All right, on the screen there, you can see Abundance Wealth Community, and that's where you'll find me. Yeah, and happy to help you out. If you want planning done here in Vancouver, Canada, if you just want general advice, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to share my time with you.
Thank you,
Thanks
brother.
for having me.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Max. We look forward to talking to you again. Max Becker from Abundance Wealth Community. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, guys. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Max. We're sorry you had to go through that. Our apologies. Quick disclaimer. Howie Dewey was joking. He has no plans of killing his girlfriend. Okay. A little disclaimer. Okay. Howie, let's wrap it up. Let's get into your pick of the week, and then we're all going to the exclusive Cash Daddies Patreon. I'm happy with how many people are on there. It's killing it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're rolling right now. We're going back with the stock we've made money in the past on. Great energy stock upgrade by Goldman Sachs last week. Dropped below 49 today. Jumped on it all over it. That's Devon Energy. Devon Energy. DVN. That thing's going to bust through 50 hopefully this week. Bust up to 51, 52. And we're going to bank some fatties.
Right on.
So let's do it. Let's go over to the Patreon. Let's do it, guys. Meet us. Hey, guys, join us. Yeah.
Oh,
let's go.
Patreon.com/Cash Daddies. Check it out.